Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses. I'm wearing a red t-shirt with my logo on it. Pretty cool, right? And I'm sitting in my office with a few colored lights behind me. And in this video, I want to talk about charging etiquette. We are quickly approaching the festive season here in Australia, and that's generally the time of year where a lot of people are doing road trips to go visit family and friends and all that good stuff. And there's going to be a lot more EV drivers on the road this year, and I thought it might be a good idea to cover what I think would be some good tips and tricks in terms of doing road trips in an electric car. And I've done a few of those in my time. I'll put a link up in the corner, or up in the corner. I keep forgetting where the corner is. But in no particular order, here we go. Tip number one, be kind. It's we're all trying to get to the same place. We're all trying to do the same thing. It can be frustrating sometimes if it's a long day, all that sort of stuff. But if you see someone at a charger who looks like they may not be that experienced, or they're not sure what to do, get out and say, "Hey, how's it going? Would you like some help?" And if someone gets out and says, "Hey, how's it going? Would you like some help?" You don't need help. Don't be, "Hey, I'm fine, don't you?" Just, "No, thanks, I'm good." So be kind, be understanding. I think that's the most important thing. Now, the actual sort of techie stuff is the first thing you need to look at is a little bit of planning. Not a lot. The first thing you can try is get into your electric car, go into the maps and type in the destination. And most electric cars, a lot of them out there these days, the maps will work out what charges you should go to and all that sort of stuff. And they'll sort of work out your route. And it's as easy as that. If you want to do a bit more sort of personalized planning, two really good apps to look at is a Better Route Planner and PlugShare. And those are two apps that show you what charges are available and can help, work out the route for you and how long you need to be there and all that sort of stuff. So definitely look at those. Also look at getting the RFID cards from EV and ChargeFox. So you've got the little, actually, I think I've got mine sitting over here somewhere. Yeah, so there we go. There's the EV one, there's the ChargeFox one, and don't even know where I got that one from, but that's a different one from Everty. Yeah, well, there you go. There's one I didn't even know I had. So get those. The reason why you want those is if you get to a charger and for some reason there's no cell signal or something's wrong with the charger and you're not able to activate the charger with the app and your phone, you can just tap and activate the charger with the card. So that's a really cool thing. Now, a tip I've been told, I've never tried this, so I don't know for a fact, but I've been told that you can use the ChargeFox one on EV chargers and you can use the EV one on ChargeFox chargers. I would suggest get both just in case. I think they're only like $10. One's free, one's $10. I don't remember which is which, but get those. Just have them in your car, just to be on the safe side. So get those. Another handy thing for having all of the charging company apps, or the major ones. So you want EV, you want ChargeFox, you want Ampol, you want BP Pulse, is very often in those apps, it'll show you if the charger is being used at the time when you look. So when you're driving to a charger, get your travel buddy, if you're traveling with buddies, to just check on your phone or their phone, 10 minutes before you get there. Hey, are the charger's full? Should we go to the next one or go to a previous one? So on and so forth. So that's a good thing to look at, and do a little bit of planning. Have an idea of, have a secondary charging location. So if you go to one charger and there's huge queues, know where the nearest charger to that is. So you go, okay, well, maybe there's fewer queues at another one. The next tip is leave early, leave late. I mean, this is just standard road trip stuff. If you leave earlier, not as many people on the road, although again, this time of year, there probably are loads of people on the road. So I don't know how much use it's going to be leaving early, but something to keep in mind. The other one is, it's not a race. You don't have to get there as quickly as absolutely possible. Now, I know a lot of people, probably most people, if they're doing road trips, between Sydney and Melbourne, or Sydney and Brisbane, or Adelaide and Melbourne, or where have you, they want to get there as soon as possible. I get it. But maybe think about doing it over 2 days instead of a single day. A lot of regional towns have got, not super fast chargers, but they've got slower chargers, so you can plug in for the afternoon and enjoy the local towns, go to a cafe, go to a museum, what have you, and then wake up the next morning. Or a lot of hotels and motels will have either a charger, or you can just, again, very important, call ahead and ask first and say, hey, we're bringing an electric car. Is it okay if we just plug it into the wall socket? Now, The other part of that is there needs to be a lot more education, because I can see how a lot of hotels or motels might go, oh, they might be a bit concerned about it for whatever reason. So it's also a good opportunity to show them the experience of, hey, we've brought an extension cord, we're going to plug it into the car overnight, and it's perfectly fine because it's charging so slowly that it's not drawing a lot of electricity. And yeah, so that's also something to think about, is maybe instead of doing it as a 1 day trip, make it a 2 day trip or even a 3 day trip. Make it part of the journey. Um, the other one is, and this one's really important, this is looking at sort of the elements of charging and how charging works, is when you're doing a long road trip, never charge past 80% of your battery capacity. Let me explain. The way that batteries work, and this is not just car batteries, most batteries, is between 20% and 80%, they charge pretty quickly. But once you get to 80%, getting from 80% to 100%, it's going to charge really slowly. So you could, depending on the car you have and the charge you're plugging into, you could charge from 20% to 80% in as little as 10 to 15 minutes. But then getting from 80% to 100%, well, then that could take another 30 to 40 minutes. So particularly at this time of year when there are going to be queues at charging locations, get to 80%, unplug, and get on the way to the next charging location along your journey. And that's the more efficient way to do it anyway. And that way also more people can get used to the charger quicker, and there won't hopefully be as many long queues of people waiting to charge. So yeah, never go past 80% when you're on a long road trip. Um, the other thing is, have something prepared. I'm guessing a lot of us are going to be traveling with our families, so you got the kids in the car. Don't look at a charging stop as an inconvenience. Look at it as an opportunity to stretch the legs, let the kids get out and have a bit of a play. Again, if you're concerned about there being lots of queues of people trying to get the use of really fast chargers along the way, plan your trip differently. Maybe say, you know what, we're going to go to a slower charger in a regional town and let the kids play in the park for an hour and run around. And that way they're not cooped up in the car for 7 or 8 hours, depending on how long your drive is. So have some games, have some stuff, just plan a little bit the way that you would for a normal road trip, I suppose. Something else to keep in mind when you're actually at the charging location is that chargers share power a lot, not always, but a lot of the times chargers share power. And what I mean by that is you might be getting to a charger that says it's a 150 kilowatt charger, but if two cars are plugged into two chargers that are right next to each other, very often those two chargers are sharing the power. So those might both be 150 kilowatt chargers, but if you've got a car plugged into each of them next to each other, each car is only going to get 75 kilowatts. So be aware of that, you're not necessarily always going to get the fastest charge advertised by the car or the charger. That's also got to do with a thing called the charge curve, and I've gone into that into other videos of mine, but effectively, let's say your car can charge. I'll give you my car as an example. So I've got a rear wheel Tesla Model Y, and the fastest rate that my car can charge at is 170 kilowatts. And so if I plug into a 200 kilowatt charger or a 350 kilowatt charger, I'm never going to get those 200 kilowatts. I'm only going to get up to 170. And even at that, my car will only get 170 kilowatts at its peak optimum charge rate. So the battery's got to be at the right temperature, the battery's got to be at the right level. So very often you'll plug in, and with my car, I'll plug in and the car will sort of plug in at low charge. Let's say I plug in at my car's at 20%, and it'll go all the way up to like 155, 160 kilowatts, 165 kilowatts. And like 2 or 3 minutes later, it's dropped to 150, then 140. As the battery fills up, your charge rate will slow down as well. So keep that in mind. And my last point, and this kind of getting back to the original one, is be kind, be understanding. We're all in the same boat. If you get to a charging location and there's a big queue of people, get out, have a chat. Hi, how's it going? Have we worked out a queuing system? If, for example, if you're not in a big hurry and you're plugged in and you're charging and someone comes along and they are in a hurry, if it's not a huge inconvenience, unplug, let them go ahead of you and then plug in again when they're done. I think as long as all of us are as kind and respectful and as understanding as we can be to each other, then I think we'll all be fine, and it'll be a lovely holiday period, and it'll be a fun experience to go on your road trip with your electric car. If this is your first experience of a road trip with an electric car, I hope it's a good one. I hope it's a fun little adventure, not too fun. You know, don't live in too interesting times. If you'd like to see a bit about electric car road trips, I'll put links up to this. I've done quite a few in a few different cars, a few different destinations. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please like and subscribe. If you have subscribed already, thank you so much for your support. And I hope whatever you celebrate, you're having a lovely festive season, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. Those were the faces. I think I might have to redo it because, I mean, I had my notes, so that was good. But as usual, it didn't feel as organized, but yeah, here we go. Let's see how we went. Did I put, oh, I did push record, jolly good.